Today I'm going to talk about New Folsom.
Vern Walker is serving 2 life terms without parole for murdering 2 people.
It's easy to get depressed and get down and get angry.
He knows he can't escape the past and knows there's very little chance of escaping this place either.
So I was arrested for my crime, for my murder, in June of 1993. I got to Wasco Reception Center in 1994, and I landed on B facility in New Folsom, February of 1995. New Folsom, like I said, New Folsom is just different, man. The COs in New Folsom, a lot of them came from Old Folsom. I remember being around homies and they'll be like, oh, that who that right there, man, in Old Folsom. And they would tell me stories about them. Them being willing to get down with you, take the belt off, get down with you. This one over here is known for setting people up. This one used to help the blacks during the guerra. This one used to help the whites. You know, I got ran down on a bunch of stuff.
By the power vested in me by the state of Maine, I hereby order you to serve 2 life sentences back to back. 1 for each of your victims. So be it.
I believe in 2 things, discipline and the Bible. Here you'll receive both.
I will say that when you go to prison, let me say, when I went to prison, before they took away the group yard, the most game that you were going to pick up was normally in 2 places. I'd say, and the shoe, right? But I will tell you that in New Folsom, I was blessed because I had been through the youth authority and I knew I don't want to hang around with guys my age. I learned that in YA. You know, I wanted to kick it with homies that had years of experience in YA and get laced up by them. I was the same way in the joint. So I was able to learn a lot while in New Folsom.
Why'd you do it?
I didn't, since you asked.
You gonna fit right in.
But prison is no fairy tale world.
Guards are constantly peering down from the top of those watchtowers. Miles of coiled barbed wire surround the outer walls. And electronically controlled metal doors keep this facility secure. This is one of 3 yards here at California State Prison, Sacramento, and there are cameras everywhere monitoring the more than 3,000 inmates here. I'm told that those cameras are so high-tech, so sophisticated, that they can literally zoom in on this piece of paper and read the writing. From high-tech control centers, officers are able to watch every minute detail, which means this 25-year-old will never get a moment of privacy for the rest of his life.
Pretty gray and dull around here, and you try to be creative with what you have.
This former Marine from Kansas focuses his creative skills on drawing. It's therapy, a mental distraction. Corrections officers say they wish all inmates would use their creative skills as productively.
And I guess then again, I was so young, but it seemed like there was more clowning around within, you know, your whoever you mess with, of course. But I remember getting there and there was a lot of us that were the same age, man. 19, 20, 21 years old. And we're around all these older cats. And this was during the time, remember, I got there in February of 1995. And this was after Calipatria had opened and the war that kicked off over there. And A lot of the guys that kicked that war off and were involved in all that stuff, they were on New Folsom P facility. These are the guys I was talking to. These were the guys who were already seasoned, knew how to do time, but also knew to laugh whenever you could and as much as you could. Because when shit gets real, it's really real.
Say I approve of this. But I suppose exceptions can be made.
Those of you that have been to prison and you remember the Super 3 and the Super 2 radios. Super 3s were a dime a dozen. Super 2s were hard to find. I remember getting there and being able to, when the vato would come through with the property, he would be like, hey homie, you want to buy Super 3, Super 2s, I got you. And if I remember right, it was $20 for a Super 3, 30 or 35 for a Super 2. Super 2s were a little bit smaller, but sounded way better.
I know you're not talking. I know. Come on, man. The Santa Bruta Sharmuta? That's you? The Santa Bruta Sharmuta? Attention on the data. I just got a weeder. It said the real ones from down south, they don't fuck with John Beeler. The dude on YouTube that can't hold his tequila.
I said there was actual, like you could see the camaraderie. You could feel it. I mentioned before, that was the only prison I was at where when people went to store up on the top, they would bust up bags of chips, man. Just have them laid out everywhere, chop up pickles, whatever, man. And I invite everybody, hey, let's come over here and get some of this. It was a show of camaraderie, but it was also a show to everybody else on the yard how united people were. Was it the truth? Of course not. There's always that politicking going on, but it felt all right.
You believe whatever you want, Floyd. But I'm telling you, these walls are funny. First you hate them, then you get used to them. Enough time passes, you get so you depend on them. That's institutionalized.
Shit. You can never get like that.
Oh, yeah? Say that when you've been here as long as Brooks has.
Goddamn right. They send you here for life. That's exactly what they take. Part that counts anyway.
Mind-boggling the ingenuity these guys have.
Sergeant Mike Davis heads up the Investigative Services Unit.
How many guys you got identified by now?
It's a 7-member team that probes every crime that takes place inside this maximum security prison. From murders and a multi-million-dollar drug and tobacco business to escape attempts.
Some inmates had this device glued to their wall, and they had a peg in here that whenever you would pull it would slide open, and they had actually gained access to a key.
A plexiglass key that opened doors to secured areas. They even made a rope out of braided bed sheets. They were caught because an inmate, not included in the plan, ratted them out.
Sometimes things that look alike are really very different. Both little mousies have cheese sandwiches, but Jan's tastes much better because it's got Kraft singles made from 5 ounces of milk per slice. Fred's sandwich has imitation slices. They're made from mostly oil and water. So remember, just because things look alike doesn't mean they are. Kraft singles. Milk makes them better.
I remember there was a vato from White Fence. And he was on the boxing team and he was decent. And there was this one younger black dude. He's probably my age or a little bit older than me. And what they would do, New Folsom would do, was they would have boxing matches. They would have dudes on B facility fighting against each other, and then they would bring in dudes from C facility over to B facility, and B facility would fight the C facility guys. It was cool. It was a trip. But I remember this fight. And the dude from White Fence was matched up against the black dude. And the black dude was vicious. We had seen him train when we would sneak into the gym, go play pinochle in the gym or whatever. And we knew like, oh no, this homie's gonna have his hands full. He ain't gonna win this one. When their match started, Casper was dominating the fight. But it was obviously because the black dude didn't want that boxing match to escalate into something on the yard. And I remember older raza from Southern California yelling out to him, handle your business, Holmes, that's in the ring. Do your thing. And he was like, nah, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, this is also the same prison where I told you when there was an incident, an issue between the raza from Northern California and the blacks. That my Sally said, I want 12 people with me. We're going down there right now. Everybody strap up.
From a cell phone hidden in this thick notebook of legal papers, even inside this Koran, to knives made out of almost anything you can think of. It's a whole other world in here. One that Vern says you don't want to experience firsthand.
Think before you act, or you're going to ended up in the prison's not a good life to live in.
Like I said, it was my first prison, and I knew that I was never going to get out. Again, prison was different back then. There were no vocations. Not on a level 418, there was no vocation. You know what your vocation was? Take your knife out to the yard, and when it's time, use it. That was your vocation. Don't miss yard, it's mandatory. That was your vocation. You never thought about going home. You didn't think about an appeal. I remember I had a few hyenas, bad ones. And they came to visit me, and I just was like, what the fuck I want that for? And I remember I cut my ladies loose. One of my homeboys, he's from the east side though. Catfish, shout out to Catfish. And he was like, hey, I heard you cut my homegirl loose. I said, yeah. He said, why? I said, because this is me. Because this is me. But there are options. Thanks to the Anti-Recidivism Coalition and the things that they passed. You go to school, you can get some time off. You get a degree, you can get some time off. You get another degree, that's more time off. You go to self-help, that's time off. You go for a year, that's more time off. There's incentives to bettering yourself that didn't exist 20 or 30 years ago. Over the last 10 years, probably 4,000 or 5,000 lifers have been released. The recidivism rate for those individuals is less than 1%. Those guys that get that 10-year term and go to prison knowing no matter what, as long as I don't catch a case, as long as they don't catch me, I'm going home in 10 years. They think prison's fun. They go and get high and do whatever they do and get out. And about 70% of them are back in prison within, I think it's about 18 months. That needs to change, man. People need to take advantage of them free college courses. I did. Better yourself. Prison is for the birds, man.
You come in here with no hope, especially for those that don't see that they will ever get out. When you restore hope, you see guys actually doing more.
This program for me has made me hopeful about what happens getting out of here and even the culture inside of this place.
With the belief that change is possible.
In this class, it's called the ripple effect, right? We had to understand that the ripple effect of our crime had affected not just our primary victims, but a lot of secondary victims. I have to change that ripple effect. So by living morally correct, I can honor my family, honor my community, so that's my hope.
The men of character realizing they can't change their past.
I'm on my 30th year. I was incarcerated in '94 to a life sentence.
I've been incarcerated coming up on 10 years. I'm serving 29 to life for taking somebody's life, in which still is not enough time.
I've been in prison for 15 years already. I'm doing 30 years for voluntary manslaughter and attempted murder. I am in here for murdering an innocent man.
I've been incarcerated for 12 years now. I was sentenced to 2 counts of assault with a firearm.
I've been incarcerated 9 years. I'm serving a life sentence, 25 years of life.
I've been incarcerated for 8 years, a string of robberies, armed robberies.
While some are eligible for parole and others may never leave, they can make the decision to make tomorrow a better day.